That's how they made our DNA. They took their magic pine cones and then,
Are you kidding me?
Imagine this. 432,000 years ago, a race of highly advanced extraterrestrials land in the Persian Gulf. Their name? The Anunnaki, godlike giants with wings. Their purpose? To mine gold on the planet Earth to repair the depleted atmosphere of their home planet Nibiru, a mysterious member of our solar system with an elliptical orbit that only passes the Earth every 3,600 years. Factually speaking, the Anunnaki were members of the ancient Sumerian pantheon. The ancient Sumerians were Mesopotamians that existed between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in present-day Iraq. The Sumerian civilization has been dated to 4500 BC, making it one of the oldest known human civilizations. The Sumerians developed the cuneiform written language, which they used to record history and information, which survives today on engraved clay tablets. Nibiru, the Anunnaki homeworld, was originally the Babylonian term for the equinox. The Babylonians were expert astronomers and had a complex understanding of astronomy for their time. The majority of alternative claims about the Anunnaki come from translations by Zechariah Sitchin of ancient Sumerian clay tablets. Zechariah Sitchin was an Azerbaijani pseudo-historian who taught himself cuneiform and produced his own independent translations of the ancient Sumerian texts. Sitchin's first book and claim to fame is The 12th Planet, written in 1976. Sitchin argued that in 250,000 BC, the Anunnaki bioengineered humans out of Homo erectus to serve as a slave race to mine gold for them after their own people revolted. Their original machinations didn't allow humans to reproduce, however, and so they had to further meddle with human DNA to allow us to reproduce and create a steady supply of slaves. Took their magic pine cones and then,
The origins of the Anunnaki myth seem to stem from the idea that the Sumerians had direct contact with alien gods at one point in time. Three classic pieces of evidence for the Anunnaki claim are the Sumerian cylinder seal, VA243, Baalbek, which he claims is a launch pad, and giant footprints. Cylinder seals were cylindrical carved stones that were used as stamps, creating impressions of the intricate carvings into moist clay. This is an impression of the Sumerian seal VA243. Anunnaki believers point to the solar system in the top left corner. They say the sun is in the middle, surrounded by 11 planets. But wait, we only have 8 planets. Well, let's include Pluto and the moon, that's 10. But we still have one unidentified planet, so it must be Nibiru, right? Wrong. First of all, no one agrees on which planet on the VA243 seal is Nibiru. This one? This one? Neither, because it's all BS. As a part of nature, images for the sun are very prevalent in Sumerian art. On the right here is a symbol for the sun. It's a small circle with squiggly lines coming off of it. On the left, you can see the star symbol, a circle with triangles coming off of it. These symbols are seen all throughout Sumerian artwork, both separately and together. If we look back at the symbol on VA243, it's obviously the Sumerian symbol for a star, not the sun, and therefore the diagram could not be of the solar system. Experts theorize that the planets are actually just smaller stars, and that it was intended to be a constellation.
VA243?
Nope. Next up is the rocket launch and landing platform at Baalbek. These ruins at Baalbek are supposed to be an ancient rocket launch and landing platform built and used by the Anunnaki. This claim stems from a description in the Epic of Gilgamesh. The heavens thundered and the earth quaked, Gilgamesh said. The day grew dark, darkness came up, lightning set in, and fire filled up. It was a day of destruction and death. An analysis of this description reveals that this rocket sighting actually occurred at Mount Lebanon, which, as you can see, is nowhere near Baalbek. Additionally, this description is not exclusive to that of a rocket launch. It sounds more like a strong thunderstorm than an alien liftoff. Anunnaki enthusiasts also say that the giant stones of Baalbek could not have been moved by humans, so it must have been built by aliens. In reality, historians believe that Baalbek was actually built by the Romans. The evidence for alien activity at Baalbek is somewhat less than convincing. But if you still want to believe, here are some totally real pictures of alien spaceships landing at Baalbek.
What about Baalbek?
No. Supposedly, the Anunnaki left a physical mark of their presence on Earth with these giant footprints. This is one in South Africa, here's some in Syria, and another one in China, and there's even some in India wearing giant wooden sandals. Some of these supposed footprints are found in solid granite. This is impossible, and let me explain why. Granite is formed deep within the Earth's crust, and it's solidified long before it reaches the Earth's surface. Even if humans or the Anunnaki had access to the molten granite, you can't make footprints in molten rock. A scientific explanation for the footprints is that they are the result of large xenoliths that have been weathered out. In these cases, a large chunk of rock probably fell into the molten granite and formed with the larger rock. This inserted rock was probably much softer than the granite and was eroded away at a much faster rate.
And what about those giant footprints? Despite all of the classical evidence being discredited, there is still some modern Anunnaki evidence that theorists point to today. Our fourth piece of evidence, the modern day kind, is going to be this video provided to us by Disclosed TV. What it actually shows is two Anunnaki kings in a sleeping stasis. If we zoom in on one of the men, you can see that he appears to have what seems like glossy eyes. These are actually coins placed over his eyes. This is a Greek or Roman burial tradition that's supposed to be a bribe for the ferryman at River Styx. Here you can see a man wearing a shiny gold tablet. The shape of the tablet also appears to be a submarine, which is what most French theorists point to. But if you look at it closely, it also could just be a fish. Lastly, look at the pristine condition of the tissue on these mummies. Both of them look absolutely flawless. Now, instead of these two being in a sleeping status, is it possible that they're both just plastic mannequins? I say it's a hoax. Moving on, we can start to look at crop circles. So crop circles first started coming up in the early 1500s. They've been around forever. French theorists jumped on these crop circles, claiming that they're catastrophic global warning signs from the Anunnaki or a signal of their return. One such theorist is a man named Michael Lee, who actually sells golden tablets emulating the crop circles for upwards of $400.
One of the most sympathetic aspects of the Anunnaki myth is also very similar to the reptilians and all the New World Order claims that we're these tiny people, the watermelon, we're these tiny little beings, and these bigger, gods, aliens, others are controlling us because we feel powerless, and so it gives you an out and a feeling of, oh, well, my feelings of insecurity and inferiority are justified because there actually is this greater, bigger picture that's impacting my life.
Though there is clear evidence that the Sumerian people did believe in Anunnaki gods, it's a fabricated myth from a time long past. Sitchin clearly misinterprets the Sumerian texts. At Baalbek, though there may be enormous stones for an unknown reason, this isn't an excuse to point to an intergalactic landing pad. And giants? Are you kidding me? The Disclosed TV video is clearly fabricated with little or no evidence provided. Crop circles are beautiful, but they're clearly man-made. There are instructional videos on YouTube for you to watch today. All in all, Sitchin is using smoke and mirrors to confuse the public into believing his own theories. It's important to dig deeper, research further, and find out more. Claiming the Anunnaki are real is just about as legitimate as saying you saw a unicorn in the Marianas Trench.